Really one last question, and it's a pragmatic one. So
Sure.
if someone were to ask you, what are the things I can do in terms of diet, supplementation, and exercise to have a healthy gut microbiome, you would, and assume they know nothing about science.
Yeah.
What would you tell them to do?
Right. So great question. So based on the literature available at the moment, right, engaging in at least some aspects of aerobic exercise, so at least starting with this something like, the 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and, working your way up, but engaging in aerobic exercise, because we do know that's beneficial in both men and women who exercise, right? Diet wise, I think there are probably lots of diets that haven't been looked at with regards to the gut microbiota. So, saying like, oh, high carb, low fat, high, but we do know, those prebiotic type foods that facilitate the activity of those microbes that are going to be responsible for producing short chain fatty acids and other metabolites are typically assumed to be more healthy. That doesn't mean you don't eat probiotic type foods like, the yogurts and the, all of that good stuff as well. In terms of, supplements, I think that's probably also really understudied area in terms of what does, and I probably could PubMed it, or one of you, like creatine and gut microbiota. What does creatine? And we know that that's extremely beneficial for performance and a variety of other things. But what does that do to your gut microbiota? I don't know that we know that yet.
That's a
right?
Great question.
Right? So maybe I smell a study brewing, guys.
Yeah, there we go.
Or dudes, however you want to say it. But yeah. But I think probiotics is probably the biggest, supplement that's out there. And again, that's really a very, personal thing. If it benefits you, great. If it doesn't. But I think the biggest thing is, for sure, we know aerobic exercise helps in both men and women. For sure, we know the soluble, insoluble fiber type diets are beneficial for those microbes as well. I think a lot of stuff outside, and I should say, and we know high fat diets are typically bad.
Okay.
Right. So,
I should keep eating my kimchi and occasional sauerkraut.
Yes, absolutely. Why not? It's delicious as well. So might as well enjoy a little bit of life, right?
Right. Any final thoughts, Tony, for Dr. Sara?
Fascinating. I mean, it's just it's a universe, right? You're talking trillions. I mean, I don't know what it is. Trillions of galaxies out there. You're talking numbers that you can't quite fathom. And it's really exciting. You gave us a great overview, Sara. I thank you. And I'm really looking forward to what the field will tell us in this discipline in the future and your work, because it's in infancy. And when you're talking about trillions of cells, or I should say trillions of, those organisms, boy, there's a lot to learn and a lot going on here. So we got a fun future ahead,
Yes, definitely.
Sure. Well, thank you, Dr. Campbell. I mean, this was quite the edification. I learned a lot more about microbiota and the microbiome than I have in the previous 5 or 10 years. So appreciate your time, and thanks for being on the Sports Science Dudes.
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you again.
Thanks.